Segundo informações da NASA, a rocha espacial chamada 86.666-200 FL10 irá passar muito próximo ao nosso planeta neste fim de semana e em uma velocidade altíssima. Não foi constatado o tamanho correto do asteroide, mas possivelmente pode chegar a ter 2,5 km e chegará à incrível marca de 65.000 km/h de velocidade. A rocha foi descoberta há cerca de 16 anos atrás, e os cientistas temem algum dano por aqui caso ela passe muito próxima de nós. Há alguns dias vários meteoros estão passando próximo ao nosso planeta, esperamos mesmo que nada passe tão perto daqui. A notícia terminou. E você quer ganhar muito dinheiro fazendo postagens em grupos do Facebook? Clique no link na descrição deste vídeo.
The comet Eurydice.
Earth is on a collision course with the comet's tail. Irreversible collision course.
Astral debris, solar radiation.
Amounts to a
10,000-mile wide electrical storm.
Electrical disturbances are already underway. Electrical disturbances will be catastrophic.
Hi, it's Lynn Liaz, and I have some information for you today I just want everybody to pray about. I'm not prophesying this. I'm only telling you what I found out. I'm not saying it's for sure going to happen. I can only tell you the source that told me has always given me accurate information. He is in the know. He's retired military. Anyhow, we've been hearing so much about an asteroid hitting the earth. And then you have Prophet Ephraim's prophecy about an asteroid or a meteor. So anyhow, I talked to my friend. Well, let me back up a little bit. I've been hearing about all these prophecies about in September a coming heavenly body. Some people say asteroid, some people say meteor, some people say comet. A lot of people don't know that there's a difference between all three of those. So back to the point, I was doing a little bit of praying while I was getting cleaned up one day, and I said, Lord, give me some confirmation on this. And a thought occurred to me, like the Lord speaking to me or the Holy Spirit, that said, call your friend. You haven't talked to him in a while. So I said, that's a good idea. So I actually picked up my phone right then and there and called him, and he answered. And so I made a little small talk. How are you? It's been a long time and so forth. And then I said, hey, do you know anything about an asteroid or a meteor or anything like that at all that's supposed to hit in September? There's all these videos by different people on YouTube, news articles. A lot of these people are unrelated to each other in their prophecies, saying basically the same thing. What do you know about this? He said, well, I don't know anything about that. So then we talked a little bit more and that was it. So after I hung up, I thought, well, that's weird. Okay, I guess, that wasn't a thought from the Lord to have me call him because he didn't know anything. So the next day I got a phone call from this friend and he told me, hey, I forgot to tell you, I found out about your question in regards to the asteroid. I said, okay. And this is the information. Well, he gave me more information than this, but I'm not showing that to you. He did give me the name of it. So I went online, and this particular body heavenly body is 2.5 miles wide. It's not an asteroid, it's a comet. And according to the real-time data that were shown online, it's nowhere in even proximity to us or would even come in contact with us. So I contacted my friend again and I said, hey, I found this on the website and it shows real time and it doesn't even show, you can go all the way through by date and it doesn't show, we're far behind it. It never even shows us in a pathway of this. What's up with that? And he said, well, the information I gave you is from my friend, and this friend is in another country and I guess works in that industry that would know such a thing. And he said he would find out. I said, yeah, I need confirmation because I want to do a video on this and tell everybody about it. And so I need some sort of confirmation. So he did contact me last night and said that he spoke to his friend and did confirm it. It is this particular comet. What is being shown online is not correct, not real, not true. So that's why I'm purposely not giving you the name of it, because of that information. Okay. But so that you know, it's 2.5 miles wide. It's pretty big. Now, even if it broke up when it got into our atmosphere, it would still do mass damage. Now, here's what he said about it. Again, some things I'm not showing you on here. I've deleted. It says countries, he's told me this is why countries are moving equipment and missiles around. They're relocating them for a path of least resistance in order to shoot at the comet. Kind of like last resort. And he told me that I could Google different countries moving their missiles around. He said like Russia and China and so forth. So I did just that. Except I actually found stuff that they were test firing these missiles. And I've got that all pulled up. I'm going to show to you about all these different countries. We have one group last year toward the end of the year that was test firing their missiles. And then we have another group that was doing it this year all around the same time, test firing their missiles. And the United States of America just did it this year, kind of like making a statement that they were just flexing their muscles, so to speak. So that's been going on. We've got Jade Helm. Now, interestingly enough, look at this. It says, he told me the expected date is September 15th through September the 28th. Okay. Now, first of all, September the 13th ends the Shemitah cycle. If you go Google the Shemitah cycle, that is when God is supposed to pour out his judgment. There's always, in the Jewish calendar, there's a 7-year Shemitah cycle. All right. Jade Helm ends on September the 15th. So we've got the expected date, September 15th through the 28th. September 28th is also a blood moon. Interesting. So those are the dates they're expecting it. He said it's an unstable orbit. I said, well, where is it expected to hit? Now get this. Okay, this guy is, he doesn't follow any of the people I follow. He doesn't even know about Prophet Ephraim's prophecy or any of these prophecies about asteroids. He tells me that it is expected to hit off the shore of Venezuela and Brazil, 200 miles off the shore. It would cause tsunamis everywhere, globally. If it does not break up and hits without breaking up, which it would, of course, break up, I'm sure, it would be an ELE or an extinction level event. That's if it does not break up. Now, even if it does break up, it's going to do some serious damage. Look at the one that hit, the meteor that hit in Russia. I think it was back in 2012 or 13. That meteor was about the size of a semi or smaller that hit, and look at the damage it did. Okay, so imagine a 2.5 mile wide comet hitting the Earth, even if it broke up in fourths. Okay, it would do some serious mass damage. So then he points out that we can also confirm this through our heavy earthquake activity. He said we also had 2 new islands rising out of the Pacific, which I have those links pulled up to show you. More volcanic and earthquake activity. He says since 2010, our activity has increased by 200%. Then I have the video for this that is going to be in my article I'm writing on this. Okay, I can't show it to you in my video because of, copyright things. So anyways, it shows these guys testing out the geyser at Yellowstone, and it has risen 6 to 8 inches. All right. These are signs of gravitational pull. He said, approximately a year before you have a heavenly body that's headed toward our Earth before it hits, you will have an increase in magnetic activity, such as earthquakes, volcanoes, and so forth. Okay, so these things confirm that.
The planet also means, very concretely, our very survival. We are, all of you know it, on the edge of a climatic abyss. In fact, we have 500 days to avoid a climate chaos.
And here are the dates that were given to me that this comet was expected September the 15th through September 28th. So that's the window that they're giving for when they're expecting it. And again, I'm going to give you this information once more. I was told that it would hit 200 miles off the shore of Venezuela and Brazil. Okay, it would create massive tsunamis. These are the things that are being prophesied. The Bible talks about these things.
We have 500 days to avoid the climate chaos. Very important issue of climate change, climate chaos, and we have, I think that we had 500 days to avoid climate chaos. And
the French Foreign Minister said, we have entered into the 500 days of climate chaos, which takes us to September 24th, 2015. What's he talking about? Is he talking about something coming from, is there asteroid cluster on its way?
And I'm proclaiming the acceptable year of the Lord from now until September 23rd, 2015, Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. Starting September 24th, 2015, I will be announcing the coming of the glorious kingdom and His Majesty.
There's a giant asteroid flying towards Earth. Detected by a Russian robotic telescope, it's one of the largest and most dangerous space rocks approaching our planet's orbit. RT's Murad Gaziev looks at the threat from the void.
Humanity's last experience with a large asteroid was painful. Almost 2 years ago, the Chelyabinsk meteor, traveling at 19 kilometers a second, exploded in the skies above Russia. The blast was dozens of times more powerful than an atomic bomb. But that meteor was only 20 or so meters in diameter, weighing about as much as the Eiffel Tower. This new asteroid is an entirely different story. It's 20 times bigger, the size of a village, weighing millions of times more. If this asteroid, for now called 2014 UR116, flew into our atmosphere, it wouldn't just burn up in the air and shatter windows. This would hit the planet's surface, potentially killing millions. But calm for now. It's not yet on a collision course with Earth. The danger is, as it passes near planets and the sun, gravity could alter its path. In fact, the Russian Space Agency, which detected UR116, has satellites watching just for such objects. And it's not only Russia. An American observatory a decade ago detected another similar asteroid. There was a big scare about that, if you remember. Apophis was named after the Egyptian god of evil, and asteroids its size hit Earth on average once in 80,000 years. NASA gave it a very real chance of impacting our planet, though that was later revised down. But the danger from asteroids is very real, and astronomers are increasingly keeping an eye out and thinking about what to do if they confirm a collision course, though don't expect anything quite as dramatic as Bruce Willis leading his team of misfits to save the world.
without any warning, a colossal fireball rockets down from space like a speeding bullet. Upon impact, apocalyptic destruction will ensue.
The thing that's so disturbing about it is that we really don't know where almost any of the comets are. The great majority of them swoop in from an incredibly large distance, hundreds of times further out than Pluto, unpredictably. And we don't even notice them, don't even discover them until they start getting heated up by the sun, so they really start shining and glowing. By that time, it only has a few months before it's going to cross through at very high speed through the inner part of the solar system. And that is really too late to do anything about it. In that case, we're talking about something that's 5 or 6 miles across. You're just dumping such an incredible amount of energy into one place at one time. It tends to light everything on fire, everything within hundreds of miles. And then that just creates mass firestorms. It's filling the atmosphere with smoke. Of course, if there are any cities, they're incredibly flammable. I mean, the amount of soot just completely blocks all the light. And it's not just you that can't see anything, it's the plants. Photosynthesis. It can all be shut down as a byproduct of this impact.
As destructive as an impact on land would be, a large comet or asteroid hitting open water would create even more havoc.
You have dumped all of that energy of thousands of hydrogen bombs into the ocean. In a matter of seconds, you're vaporizing cubic miles of ocean. What is the water going to do after it's all blasted out in a spray of steam? All the other ocean water is going to flow right in as fast as it can and set up a tsunami like you cannot imagine. I'm talking about a wall of water that when it ramps up, the shore could be hundreds, 500, 1,000 feet high, and nothing's going to stop it. It will just keep on rolling in and obliterating everything for 50 or 100 miles.
Then you would have all this debris fall back on the planet Earth. It'd be like a Christmas tree, seeing all these ornaments being thrown out in all directions. And then you would see firestorms, enormous areas of the planet Earth burning, releasing even more soot and ash in the air, blanketing out sunlight. Temperatures would then plunge, and life itself would be perhaps extinguished.
Once scientists had said it could never happen. Now many were shocked. Some talked about the end of the world.
If something sneaks up on us, then there's very little we can do. In fact, today, the most likely situation is zero warning. The next impact of a mile-sized object will probably happen without any prior discovery of it at all. The first thing you will know is when you feel the ground shake and see the plume of fire coming up over the horizon. Impacts today are a risk. They're a hazard. They're something we need to protect ourselves against. If we don't learn how to protect ourselves against impacts, then on the long term, we are likely to be wiped out by impacts. If it happened to the dinosaurs, it could happen to us. For the 10% of the big ones that have been discovered, there is no danger. But I can tell you nothing about the 90% that we have not yet discovered. So, yes, we understand the general nature of the risk, but we have not yet taken any real concrete efforts to protect ourselves or even to look and see if there's anything headed our way.
And very few people would live through this. Civilization as we know it will be finished. Earth would be basically brought back to its knees, to the cave ages, if you will.
After people start missing a few meals, starvation, hunger starts to set in, people get concerned about their families, about providing for their children. A person will do unspeakable things. When it comes down to survival and you're looking at the faces of your hungry children, you're going to do anything you can to make sure that your children get fed and that you get fed.
So it's not a question of if it'll happen, it's a question of when it will happen.
The clock stopped at 1:17. There was a long sheer of bright light and a series of low concussions.
Segundo informações da NASA, a rocha espacial chamada 86.666-200 FL10 irá passar muito próximo ao nosso planeta neste fim de semana e em uma velocidade altíssima. Não foi constatado o tamanho correto do asteroide, mas possivelmente pode chegar a ter 2,5 km e chegará à incrível marca de 65.000 km/h de velocidade. A rocha foi descoberta há cerca de 16 anos atrás, e os cientistas temem algum dano por aqui caso ela passe muito próxima de nós. Há alguns dias vários meteoros estão passando próximo ao nosso planeta, esperamos mesmo que nada passe tão perto daqui. A notícia terminou. E você quer ganhar muito dinheiro fazendo postagens em grupos do Facebook? Clique no link na descrição deste vídeo.